purchase. And then I was like, oh, I was basically edging Reebok. Like they wanted me to. Yeah, now let me explain this to you. So I did like a SWOT analysis on the taser, pepper spray, and pepper gel.
20 cents feels like you're being spiteful, which you probably were.
I was a little spiteful. I was a little spiteful.
Welcome back to Critical Banter, the podcast that brings a Friday drinks chat to you. This week's episode, we have top fives. And if you're on the YouTube, you'll notice there's Ro and I, and we've got headphones on. Why do we have headphones on? Well, Senny's not here, but guess who's here? Big man Kushagra Kundra.
Woo!
From live and direct from San Fran. How you going?
I am going very well. How are you boys right now?
Wow, we're so good, Kush. We haven't spoken to you in a long time. Mate, there's got to be stories here, surely.
Oh yeah, don't worry. There's stories galore, and I'm collecting them as if I'm Thanos with the stones here. So don't stress at all with the stories. But how's the studio going? Do we still have the purple black tiles? I do miss that overwhelming sense of color.
They are still here. Whether they're falling apart or not is another question entirely. What's in your backdrop, Kushy? Did you bring some purple black tiles with you?
I was thinking about that. I was actually thinking about just decking my walls with purple and black foam tiles.
It's called branding,
my
mate.
room is I definitely can't put a neon sign Critical Banter on top of my bed. I don't think I'll get sleep with a neon sign above me. But I was thinking maybe I could, turn up my whole room with purple and black tiles, but I'll send photos and I'll put it up on the YouTube as well of the room. It's so tiny that if I did that, I feel like it might look like a CIA torture room. So I'm going to avoid that.
Did you figure out your lighting situation? Because when we last talked about you, mate, we were talking about how you refused to have downlighting.
No downlights. They don't make those in the builds in San Francisco, apparently.
That is a true fact.
That can't be a true fact. You're telling me that apartments in San Francisco, they don't build them with lights.
With lights in the bedroom specifically, they do not do so. So I've been to 3 apartments, and I went to a cousin's place, and I was asking about this light situation, and she said, yeah, it's a thing apparently in San Francisco. She's in a different city, by the way, in Oakland, and she said the exact same thing. So it's true. There's no lies over here. But in the video, you'll see in the background, I do have a beautiful lamp. And then I also have another lamp here. So don't worry, the lighting is fixed. I am no longer in the darkness.
And you also have like a 60-inch TV to light up your place as well.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I need that. I got a sound bar. I got a little bass module as well here to spice up the small room that I have.
Beautiful. All right, Kush, mate, let's crack into it, huh? Let's hear what's been happening over the last few months.
All right. Let's talk about the big thing that's on everyone's minds.
The Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson
the election
fight.
Experience.
Oh, sorry. Okay, the election, true.
No, I mean, to be fair, that in itself, like that Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, honestly, that's how the election felt when I was watching it. It felt like 2 big guns going ham against one another. I don't know how it was over there, but here I was going through all the news channels and it honestly felt like a UFC fight. Like something big was going down. Like you'd have all these sensational cuts, like Trump versus Kamala, and it would cut to like Trump holding his ear, like this dramatic music.
I was at work when the election was happening. I was in the office. I was refreshing because I was quite interested. I think the New York Times has like a predictor, and the whole day it was slightly likely that Trump wins. And then like as the day went further along, it was like very likely. And then I was like, okay, well, looks like it's all over Red Rover. My workmates were in absolute despair. They were like, I can't believe this is happening, this and that. Now, the news that we get fed here, very left-leaning, Kush. I will say that much. Over there, what's the San Francisco? What's the landscape? Political climate?
I think it's like honestly, I think it's a bit mixed. I will say it's definitely more Democrat than anything. The old fans of the auntie here, but it was pretty funny because I was going through all the news channels because I just wanted to see how they were, and so there was one on Amazon Prime. By the way, they have their own set streaming service for the election party. I opened it up and this guy, it goes to a channel and then it immediately cut to this dude talking about World War II and the title said Democrat strategist. I had no idea how it landed in that position, but I think that's like, that's how cooked it is here. Everyone's talking about it at any point in time. they're connecting every single dot historically to this one election night. It was honestly a bit of a farce. Like, it genuinely felt silly in that sense. Like, everything was sensationalized. There were so many, like, they were throwing out the points like, Trump takes Pennsylvania or whatever, like he's now 200. Like, it was actually like a basketball match. That's what it felt like.
Yeah, first to 277 or whatever it is, right? Race 2.
Yep. And they had the real-time vote. So, look, in all honesty, it was a fun experience because I was engrossed. It felt like I was watching reality TV, and I enjoyed it. It was a nice 3-4 hours out of my day just being like, you know what? I can totally see myself chilling with the boys, election party.
Yeah, you were saying there was watch parties. Did you attend one of these?
No, unfortunately, I didn't get invited to a watch party, but I would have loved to. Hopefully, the next election, if I'm still here and still alive in the USA, then I can check out an election party.
Every time an electorate gets one, shot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, drink.
Until you're 277 shots deep. Now, what would have been fun, Kush, is because I'm pretty sure San Fran would be left-leaning, right? You should have gone to the pits of America, right in the middle, where all the Republicans are, and see how the tune has completely changed.
Yeah, maybe I should have flown out to Texas, Florida for the election night. That would have been an interesting experience.
But you didn't, obviously you can't vote, but I heard they don't check IDs at the voting polls station, maybe, because you just come in, do your part. Obviously, you'd vote for Donald Trump, I imagine.
Obviously, he says. No, I'm not saying. I would have voted for Auntie.
Just quietly. Speaking of right, actually, we'll get a pulse check on this. Migs, you bumped into Bubble Boy.
Yeah, business bubble.
Friend of the show, Nathan.
Oh, yeah?
And what did he tell you?
So, I met him, said hi, hello, and then he jumped straight into, I've got this right-wing politician that you would be great for your show. He's the youngest, something going for John Howard's seat.
Yeah, in Bennelong.
In Bennelong. He's a great chat. Well, you can talk all these sort of things. And then he caveats, I know you guys don't want to talk about politics, but he'd be a good chat, blah, blah, blah. And then what did he say in the message?
He DMs us.
So then he DMs us, follows up. Good guy. But the tune slightly changes because I think when we're talking in person, it's like, you can have a chat, talk about things. And then over the messages, he's like, you can grill him. You can oppose him. So I don't know what we're going to get out of him if we were to get him on.
Yeah, would there be any interest? Maybe if there's interest getting a liberal politician on for us to grill him and send to glaze him, would there be interest in that?
But that being said, I would also want, a wide variety of politicians, maybe Greens, maybe Labor, maybe One Nation, maybe, independent, all sorts. We're neutral right now as a podcast. So, got to get all opinions.
Kush, do you reckon that'd be good chat? Grilling this liberal guy about his policies and how many
the housing crisis
and stuff. Yeah, is that funny or no?
It would be funny, but the problem is I don't think any of you would do your research. So he backs down.
So what's your policies?
Yeah, that's what it's going to feel like. I feel like Sen will have a couple of one-liners in there. Then when you will dig deep into the policies, we'll have nothing to do but agree because we have no knowledge to fall back on.
True.
It's like when there's Ben Shapiro goes to like colleges and debates college students, and then he wins because the students don't know anything.
Yeah. Ben Shapiro destroys college grad.
It'll be like that.
It's a clickbait titles. But look, if there's any interest from the listeners of getting this liberal guy on, let us know. We're open to it. But I don't know if I don't think we have the balls to grill someone like that.
In someone of influence and power, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like, would we sit him down in your house, Migs, and be like, well, what do you think about this? Why do you think this? Do we have it in us?
No, I don't have it in me. Why Coles and Woolies allowed to bump their prices up?
Exactly.
Mate? Why are you letting that happen? I don't have the balls to question that.
And then the thing is, after the podcast, it's not like he, just leaves immediately. We have to escort him downstairs after giving this guy a 1 hour grilling. But yeah, anyway, sorry, I've derailed this slightly, but that's the.
Kush, what's the vibe now that Trump's won? What's the, I'm sure SF upset.
Yeah, honestly, this is because it was actually first pretty funny because when the election happened, I had like 10 people reach out to me being like, are you doing okay? Like, what's the plan? Are you coming back? Like immediately.
This is when he won?
Yeah, this is when he won. Yeah.
And then you said, yes, I am coming back. This is upsetting news.
No, I said I'm staying. This gives me more reason to stay.
Exactly. Do you see he appointed a health minister? It's like Robert F. Kennedy, except the guy's anti-vax.
And then did you see who he appointed the head of? Is like Department of Government something evolution or something.
Nah.
The acronym is Doge.
Oh, is it Elon?
It's Elon.
Oh. So this guy, dude, how does Elon Musk have the time, bro? This guy's running like three
Isn't this
companies.
guy South African as well, just quietly?
He's living in America, probably has citizen now, but he's running like, Tesla, SpaceX, Twitter.
And Doge for the
and
government.
Doge. There's no way. Apparently he's a top like 200 ranked Elden Ring player or something like that.
Or Elon Musk. That's actually pretty impressive, to be honest. But yeah, it was pretty funny because people did reach out. One person even was like, what's the vibe in the office? And I was like, first of all, it's a public holiday over here, so I can't tell you any vibes. But the next day when I went into the office, it was a pretty somber and silent mood. And I had two main aims when I was in the office. One, I wanted to see the happy people. Who were the ones where I could be like, all right, this man's happy from one result.
Who's right leaning in this office?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, at least on the floor that I was, couldn't see much, which is good. But I did overhear some conversations about people just talking about the sentiments after the election. And there was one person who was essentially like, look, I don't know what I'm going to do in the next 4 years. Like, how do I beat this overwhelming sadness? And all I could think about was like, dude, what did you do in 2016? Like, you had the same feeling. Like, what's different now? This man's got 8 years of his life. He's just drowning in sadness. All because of how stupid Americans are. So I don't know. It is interesting to see people that, I don't know, surprised. Like, I feel like in Australia we knew Trump was going to win, right? Like, it looked like a no-brainer from our end.
Well, I had a bonus bet that I bet on Trump to win the election. So I personally, in my heart of hearts, knew that Donald Trump was going to win.
Nah, it's the classic. It depends where you look. I know you were talking about it last week, Ro, but if you look at our politics, for example, left-leaning heavily.
Yeah.
Kamala's going to win big time.
Easily.
But if you go on Twitter, or X, where there's a lot of fucking right-wing crazies on there, they're going to tell you Trump's going to win. So yeah, it depends where you look. I still think here is a tiny shock. Probably not as much as America, but I think a lot of people still thought Kamala could take it home.
Interesting. Yeah. There were people like bringing it up in meetings as well, being like, I think we should talk about it. What happened yesterday, before we get to this meeting, as if like someone had passed away, like that kind of vibe. Like, we're just going to spend a minute.
That's weird at work,
Keep
though.
politics out of, the corporation.
Yeah.
Surely,
Just,
right?
mate, you're just there to maximize shareholder value, boys. You don't need to worry about who's elected.
Oh yeah, don't worry about that. I was 9 to 5 heads down, working my ass off. No worry about the election. But okay, let's move on from the election because I want to talk about a little bit about my experiences setting up in America. So I've got two little experiences that I had while I was trying to set up my phone plan, which took way longer than I expected. I am right now with US Mobile, but when I was trying to get a phone plan, and this is what I used to do in Australia as well. You'd often like contact these companies, like Optus, Telstra, give them a call, try to work out the best deal, right?
Yeah.
That felt like BAU.
That is not how my experience buying a phone plan. I just look on what the website is. What the website says, that's it. Who's got the cheapest website with the most data for the cheapest price? I'm going there.
But if you call it, I don't do it, but if you call it, they'll give you 5-10% off the
Probably
price.
But then you're sitting there on the phone and stuff. I'm currently on Tangerine, by the way. That's my phone plan at the moment.
I remember that we asked, bro. Thank you.
So US Mobile, Tangerine, play on. So you give them a ring.
I gave them all a call, but they're really aggressive salespeople, like extraordinarily aggressive. I'm here just being like, I'm going to be going back to Australia, soon. What's the roaming like? And they were like, all right, let's just lock in this deal right now. We can worry about roaming later. And I was like,
they're trying to close you.
Don't worry about the roaming.
No, they weren't even trying to close me. Like, they were trying to lock me down, like, completely in this one room, being like, get this deal over the line, or, you're not going to wake up tomorrow. That's how that experience felt. They were so aggressive, like, incredibly aggressive. There was one call as well where I was talking to this guy from, I think it was Verizon, actually, and he was like, look, if you go AT&T, like, that's it. Like, it's over. Like, they're just not good.
What's over?
That's what I didn't get. And I ended the call after that. I was like, dude, I don't know what you're yapping on about. But I eventually got my phone plan. But before that, I also visited in store on my first, I think it was my third day. I was like, you know what? Let me just check out these stores. Maybe they'll give me a little bonus deal. So off I went to T-Mobile. I walked into T-Mobile, and the moment I opened the door, this very common smell in California, went into my nose, and that is the smell of the ganja, good Kush, as they say here, inside the store. May I add? So, I walk up to the front area, and I speak to the attendees, and I'm like, "Yo, man, I'm here for the deal." This guy, he looks up. His eyes are so glassy. This man has smoked the biggest doobie most likely of his life. He looks up at me and he was like, yeah, man, I can, what are you here for, bro? And I was like, yeah, I'm here to lock in a deal, man. And so this goes on for like 5 to 10 minutes where he can't hold on a sentence. He's like, so you can get like, calls and you can, yeah, you get like unlimited calls. That's how he was talking to me for 10 minutes. And then at the end, I was like, dude, I'm not gonna lock in a deal.
Oh, you didn't want to negotiate with that guy? No, I would have been convinced.
I think that guy was negotiating with himself, to be honest, at the end. But I was like, all right, cool, man, I'm gonna head out. And he was like, yeah, before you go, here's my card, and just call me if you want to, ever lock in a deal. I'm here to help out. Or that potentially. And then he was like, what's your name, by the way? And I turned around and I said, Kush. Dude, the man saw God. He looked into my eyes. His eyes widened, and then he turned to his other staff and he was like, bro, his name is Kush. He shook my hand, dapped me, and was like, I cannot believe it, man. Your name is Kush. And then he kept waving me goodbye as I kept going out. The man was so happy. I made his day.
Wow, Kush, mate. Again, your name comes in handy so many times, dare I suggest.
Bro, actually, I've got a little experience that I had here that I think you might find pretty helpful in your little scheming of financial interests that you have.
Oh, yeah?
Kush, his eyes perked up.
I'm interested. Talk to me.
I'm buying a couple of shoes and some apparel over here. So I went to Reebok and I went online and I added just a pair of shoes into the cart. I was trying to put in a payment method, but it didn't work. So I was like, all right, screw it. I'll come back tomorrow. I come back tomorrow and I try again. It doesn't work. So I'm like, all right, maybe I'll contact the payment, the company that's giving me the payment card, and I'll try to figure it out. In my email the next day, Reebok sends me an email saying, hey, we saw you have this in your cart. Here's 10% off to finish the purchase. And then I was like, oh, I was basically edging Reebok. Like they wanted me to buy their pair of shoes. So I was like, you know what? Let me see how far I can take this. Maybe they'll give me a 15 or a 20% off. So I waited another couple of days, didn't add a payment method, didn't get an email. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go back. I go back, go through the whole process again. I add another payment method. The one that I know that's going to fail, it fails. So I'm like, all right, cool. Give it another day. Reebok comes back and being like, hey, we noticed these items are still in your cart. Here's 15% off.
Wow.
And so it's gone up by 5%. And at this point in time, I was like, let me try one more time.
Yeah, you clearly don't need these shoes urgently. It seems like you're just walking around barefoot.
Yeah, nothing urgent. But I gave it another 3-4 days. They didn't go up to 20%. But bro, this is a handy tip, man. If you ever want to buy something, edge these companies online and you might get a discount code. I've
seen this, but I'm just too impatient. I don't buy that much stuff online. So when I do buy, I want it ASAP. So it's not a bad strat though, because I've seen that works. Like usually all these e-commerce platforms and stuff, they have those retargeting campaigns where if you add something to your cart, you don't even need the checkout methods to fail. You just add it to your cart, leave. They'll send you some sort of
signal, mate.
Yeah, some sort of
the EDMs, man.
But how do they have your email if you don't? Do you have an account with Reebok?
Because I assume if he got to the payment stage, he would have
put your email through.
That would probably be step one, right?
Yeah, I popped my email in, but I don't think I created a full account. I was at that stage where it was you part of the sign up process for the checkout. So I think they just keep it and then they send it out to you, being like, "Hey, we noticed you still have this." I was doing the same thing with Temu as well, and it got to that. Temu's way more aggressive. They email you twice a day, being like, "Please, sir, please buy it."
Bro, I feel like Temu is so cheap that you don't need a discount code.
Oh yeah, it is so cheap. But I was like, let me just give it a go with Temu. Let's see what they do. They actually sent me an email yesterday. Here it is. Yeah, I've got $100 gift card from Temu.
No, but it's not $100. It's like $100 split into $10 voucher, $5 voucher, and it's you only get that if you spend $50. It's here, have a $20 voucher if you spend $50. Trust me, brother. I've been through the Temu ringer, mate. It's not. It's everything's too good to be true.
They're one of their email like subject lines is, "Hey K Kundra, please accept this ASAP."
Please.
I think Temu. I think I'm gonna be back on Temu soon. I bought Spike Ball from Temu a couple of months ago.
Spike Ball or Spike Ball alternative?
Yeah, Spike Ball alternative. Budget Spike Ball. It does the job. It is amazing. I do enjoy it. Temu has great stuff. I bought like a tongue scraper in that order, along with like AirPods cleaners. Dude, I'm telling you, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I sent you a screenshot in our chat of how aggressive they are by email. Take a look at it. It's actually ridiculous.
All right, let's take a look. My God. So Kush has gotten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 emails
in 4 days.
Look at the way the story goes. Like, your patience has paid off. Please accept our apology.
Yeah. Kindly accept $100 off. Your patience has paid off. You've been accepted. Kindly accept $100 off. Our token of apology. Your patience has paid off. At K Kundra, please accept it ASAP.
They added you as well.
That's what, 8 emails over 4 days. That is aggressive.
That is highly aggressive.
All right. Speaking of my experiences in America, obviously I'm still setting up, but
obviously you're setting up. You've been there for like 6 months now. How are you still setting up?
Yeah, brother, we called you when you've been there for like 4 weeks and no light, no nothing, sitting cross-legged on the floor eating your dinner, mate.
Yeah.
How long is it taking, brother?
Dude, first of all, it's only been like 2.5 months, actually. That's only 6 months.
2.5 months. You should be settled by this point.
Furniture should be either ordered or arrived and installed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Look, the furniture's all here. Like, that's not a problem. I think, like, it just feels like I'm still setting up. Like, I'm still buying new little trinkets here and there. You know, like the financial stuff, all this, like, health insurance and jazz and like all this kind of stuff.
Taser. What happened to the taser?
Oh, yeah. Actually, speaking of that, I have moved away from the taser and I've decided to invest in a pepper gel.
Peppered gel, what?
Yeah, now let me explain this to you. So I did like a SWOT analysis on the taser, pepper spray, and pepper gel. The taser is, of course, very good when you're up front and close with the aggressor.
Yeah.
It's exceptional. And in fact, there's no one stopping you. But downside, if the aggressor's quite big, strong, maybe he's had experiences with taser, they could probably actually fight through the first hit.
So it's a low TTK, Kush.
Yeah, it's a very low TTK, and it's got the problem with that as well is the aggressors normally here are probably like coked up on fentanyl, so they can probably bypass one hit from the taser. So left that to dry. I now did my research on pepper spray. Saber's pepper spray. Saber is a company here that's quite popular that deals in all sorts of trinkets when it comes to defending yourself.
Yeah.
So pepper spray, not very effective here because of the wind in San Francisco. It's a very breezy city.
Yeah.
So if you spray in front of you, more than likely it's just going to come back straight on you and you're a goner. Like, you've just wasted yourself. In fact, you've made yourself an easier target for your aggressor.
Yeah.
So what Saber has done is they have actually rolled out the pepper gel. And now this gel, overall, it handles itself very similarly to the pepper spray, like the same kind of ingredients and whatnot, but the gel is instead one stream instead of like a spray. And so that stream is not affected by the wind. It just sent it straight down. Now, obviously, the difficulty that comes with this is that you're pretty much shooting like it's an ACOG scope. You need to be quite
you gotta have good
efficient.
aim.
You have to have good aim. And so normally what happens is they sell pepper gel with like another bottle that you can practice with, like on whatever you want. Like at home, maybe you're out in the backyard and you can practice with this fake pepper gel, which is just, it's not harmful.
Would that not just be like silly string or something?
Exactly.
Yeah, no, it pretty much is. Yeah, it literally is silly string.
Have you got your reps in, Kush?
I have got myself a nice little pepper gel, I will say.
Oh, you bought it? You actually bought it?
Of course I'm going to buy it. Why are you surprised? Defense is the number one priority for me here.
So do you have to stay strapped at all times? Where do you put it? You have a holster, attachments with it?
So you can buy attachments. You can buy like a belt and you can strap it to your belt that stays hidden. You can get like backpack attachments. People get it like within their forearm, like a little strap, so that
Spider-Man.
No, literally, there's a click and it rolls up and you can like start spraying.
Dude, no way.
I'm serious. I would. Thankfully, I haven't had to use it. That's a good sign. But I don't go out with it every time. But I do have it. You know, maybe if I'm going out at night, I might strap myself, get myself protected. You know, ready to rumble at any times.
Can I interest you in a TCB tries pepper gelling yourself?
That interest is not there. Right.
Really? Do you actually have no interest just to see what it feels like?
No. What? Of course it's going to feel like trash. It's like the same thing as pepper spray.
We got our hands on it here, Ro would do it to himself.
Yeah, I'd do it to myself. I just want to feel like, okay, ages ago I told a story about getting pepper sprayed unintentionally, and that was like the remnants of the police were pepper spraying the girl, but the wind, like you said, came, and then the pepper spray got us. But pepper gel, I'm not asking you to spray like the whole thing in your face. I'm just asking you to give yourself a bit of a thing and see how it feels.
It's like in The Simpsons when the food was bland, so Homer pepper sprayed his meal.
Exactly, like that exactly.
I'm not gelling myself up, man. I feel like it'll be more aggressive than spray because like you spray a remnant, so because of the wind, it can go anywhere. Gel is a stream, so it's harder to say just a little bit of the stream. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dude, I can't take gel seriously. When you first said gel, it was like a moisturizer or something, like a little cream you apply.
You know what I'm thinking? I feel like I'm visualizing this as, in the World Cup, the referees would spray the white foam to indicate how far you can stand. Is it like that, Kush?
Yeah, it pretty much is like that. Yeah, it's like it's in a deodorant bottle almost, like that kind of like can.
And what's the range on this bad boy?
I know it can travel up to 20% more than sprays. Like that was a selling point as well for me. So I was like, oh yeah,
USP.
I'll buy that. I think it's 5 meters. Yeah, 5 meters.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's good range to stay away from an attacker potentially. Keep your distance.
Yeah. Oh, there's a Black Friday sale going on right now. It's actually 22% off. Sabre pepper gel.
All right, you're coming back to Sydney in the next couple of weeks, Kush. Can I ask you to get me a spray? Bring it back home.
It's going to be blocked.
No word. Stuck it in the check-in. I'm not asking you to bring it in carry-on.
I'm pretty sure even in the check-in, it won't be allowed.
No, dude, you don't need to declare it. Like, they're not asking.
No, but they scan your bags, man.
Yeah, it just looks like deodorant, as you said.
Yeah, I think the Americans know how to differentiate.
TSA will get him before Australia gets him.
Have a look at the rules and regulations. If you can get a pepper gel back to Sydney, I'd love to get my hands on a can.
Yeah, bring 3
on a Sabre pepper gel. You can actually buy 3 packs, so you get a.
There you go.
No, I'm being serious, Kush. Have a look. If you can, bring it back. We can have a pepper gel battle.
Okay. Dude, this is not like one of those things after recording where we have those Nerf guns and we turn around and shoot. This is an actual weapon.
No, it's, non-lethal weapon. It's fine.
Oh, you say that, Ro, but these things are dangerous, man. These things are dangerous.
Sorry, I think I interrupted you before we went on this taser tangent.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. Oh, yeah. So it was this experience. What I was going to say was, if you recall, I went to America a couple of years back and I talked about some experiences there. Mm-hmm. And one was how terrible the tipping lifestyle, the tipping experience here is in America. It's absolute shit. It's still as bad as I remember, but there's been a couple of times where, like, before I went to the movies here, there's like this local candy store where you get a couple of like lollies and you go upstairs and you can take in some nice little candy in for the movies. And then I bought like a couple, it was like $5, and then I go give her my card. She takes my card, puts it to the machine, and the way the tip gets presented is they have like those like little monitors and it shows the price. It's like $5. I go, cool, taps it, and then it comes up next and it's like, how much of a tip do you want to put in? Mm. And she still has my card and she's just looking at me. And I'm like, oh, I guess I go forward and tap it for her. So I go forward and all of the suggested tips are egregious. They're like 50%.
50?
I go up, go custom, and then just do like 20 cents. She looks at me, gives back my card. And I can see her absolutely fuming. Upset at all, but I'm not paying 50% tips, man. Egregious as shit.
Wait. Who would you say this person was? Someone that's selling you snacks?
Yeah, literally just snacks. That's it.
How is that a service that needs
tipping?
A tip, bro.
The service
Do your
was
job.
they reached around the back and presented it to you.
No, she didn't even do anything. I got the bag myself and was putting the snacks in myself. She did literally nothing.
Self-serve as on top of that.
Yeah, it's people are ridiculous here with tips. The only one where I saw the suggested one really high was at the barbers, and obviously I think that makes sense. They've got your hairline in your hands, man. And a good tip, I think, goes a long way at the barbers.
I don't get it, man. Just surely bake that into the. I'm paying for your service. Why am I paying more for the service? Bake it into the cost, brother, please.
But 20 cents, to be fair, Kush, the first tip that you gave that lady was 20 cents. That's a slap in the face. At least just put the 0,000 and then call it a day. 20 cents feels like you're being spiteful, which you probably were.
I was a little spiteful. I was a little spiteful. It's just the audacity of this person to be like a tip. So I was like, here you go. I hope that, feed your kids tonight. 20 cents.
Am I crazy that I thought barbers weren't a tipping thing?
Yeah, I don't know why it's tip because you're like paying for a service.
Correct, yeah.
It's not like a restaurant where you're paying for the food and stuff and then there's service on top, which, you can maybe tip. I don't get it.
I'm not sure why the barbers are asking for tips, but fair enough. Give the guy.
Did you give him a tip, Kush?
The barbers, yeah. I didn't give them because the haircuts here, by the way, are super expensive. Like the minimum price is, I don't know how it was in Sydney, but for me, I paid 20 AUD in Sydney, but here it's 50 USD minimum for a haircut.
What?
Whoa.
Yeah, 50 USD. I found a place that was slightly on the cheaper and it was 32 USD. And so I did that because I couldn't find any other cheaper place.
And if you're saying that's not including tips, so you're looking at a $60 haircut potentially if you do a 20% tip.
The tip that came up with the haircut that I did, which was a $30 one, it said suggested was $12. That was the tip suggested.
You're dreaming.
I didn't. I just gave them $4 and I was like, look, $4 should be enough. Someone like that, I have much hair to cut anyway. Like, seriously, calm down. So, yeah, tipping is still egregious.
Alrighty. Thank you for the updates, Kushy. We'll expect to hear some later down the line. Again, if there's anything you want to hear from Kush, send it in. Moving on. So, last week I wasn't here. And the reason why I wasn't here is because I went on a weekend away. And I went off grid. And my God, what an experience that was. So I haven't gone like camping or anything like that in yonks. So I went to a tiny home.
Which is not camping.
It's not even camping, but my God, like I was still out of my element.
Yeah.
Lo and behold. So off grid, tiny home. Like they did the classic warnings, like this place is solar paneled, so watch out for the electricity and stuff like that. But what I wasn't prepared to do was to cook my food on a fire, on an open flame that I had to create and spawn myself.
Primal. That's actually beautiful.
It's primal, man. So what? So they gave a bit of firewood, but like I soon realized you need more than like logs to make a fire.
You need like twigs to start.
You need like different varieties of wood and materials. So like me and my partner, we were struggling to get this fire going.
Did you have fire starters?
So we realized there was fire starters a bit later on, right? So that helped big time to start the fire, but obviously you have to keep it going. And just fire starters and wood, like logs alone aren't going to do it.
Nah.
So we spent a good half hour foraging in the surrounding forest, trying to find like little, dried up leaves, twigs, bark, etc. Dude, this was a crazy, because like I didn't know what would help the fire.
Yeah.
It was like a test and learn, man. It was like an A/B test. I was coming in seeing, would these leaves work? And then it fucking went up in flames.
Yeah, and the smokes up. The leaves smoke it up.
So I think there's like oil as well in the leaves or whatever it may be. So yeah, it smokes up. Chuck in some bark. That turned out to be a tip there. Use bark.
Shout out bark.
Shout out bark, man. Kept the fire going. And all sorts of things, right? And then, so that's for the food part. So then, whatever. And they provided like a grill you put on top of the fire. So it was not too bad. But one of the main selling points of this tiny home was they had a outdoor bath, right? Okay. So a bathtub just outside. You're kind of off grid and you're isolated, so you can just bathe outside. There's no other people around. So it's, lovely little experience. Be one with nature. So we spent the day out and then we get back probably like an hour before sunset. We're like, perfect time to hop in the bath, see the sun go down, be one with nature. So then I start to get the bath ready and then I take a look. Turns out there's no like gas attached to this bath.
Cold plunge.
The water has to be heated with fire. And I'm like,
What?
all right, I guess I can get along with that. And then I'm like reading the instructions, blah, 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 like turn on the tab, do this, do that, light the fire. And then one of the last instructions was, please allow a large flame on for 1.5 to 2 hours.
No.
So I'm like, I have to prepare
the bath
in long time. And obviously my fire making skills are like level 5, like on RuneScape type bar. I don't know what to do. So like it's taken like 2-3 hours in, and the bath, like it's like water and oil. The top half is warm water. The bottom half is like ice cold water.
Wait, so how does this work? I don't understand.
So there's
how does the fire heat the bath? So there's underneath.
So there's the bath, and then like attached to it are like 1 or 2 pipes.
Right.
And then the other end of the pipe is like where the fire is. And there's like a big metal coil. So I think the fire's inside that coil.
Yeah.
So then after a while, the fire will heat up the coil, and then the coil will transport heat into the water. What a setup, right?
Wow.
My God. But like after 3 hours, brother, the water was not fully warm.
Yeah, because they probably need you to make like a bonfire essentially to heat it up, and you're probably just got like a small little flame just going.
And the flame was like on and off, bro. Like every time I walked away, it would start to die down. I panicked. I'd run into the forest, get some more twigs, and like try and keep it going. So like towards the end, my missus like, it's getting dark. I was like, fuck this. I'm just gonna go in and see how it is.
Yeah.
Water wasn't really warm, but
was there a shower? There
was a shower.
Okay, all right.
So like this was for an experience, not to like actually wash yourself.
Yeah,
it's like to experience it. So after that, hop in the shower, call it a day. Good experience overall, but you know, if you're gonna do something like this, learn how to start and maintain. Maintain is the key part. Learn to maintain a fire before you go out into the wilderness.
Did you also like go hunting as well? Get the spear?
I went hunting at the local supermarket and purchased packaged meat there. Oh, but dude, I had a shocker with this cooking situation.
Yeah.
So they have like the fire pit pre-set up, right, in like some sort of metal container, but like they set it up on a slope.
Yeah.
So then, and then also the grill that you put on top of the fire. So the pit is a circle. The grill they gave you is a semicircle. Okay. So like there is danger of the food rolling into the fire. And my God, did like 1 or 2 of my sausages just roll into the flame. And I'm like, you know what? I call it a day, bro. I'm down 2 sausages.
Is it on the plate, right? Because it's not going to cook evenly, or it's not going to heat evenly.
Yeah.
Were you finding it was difficult to cook the meat?
No, so I was very excited to do this because I've watched plenty of videos on like people barbecuing, like, oh, make a hot side, make a cool side, you know, have a flame here, flame there.
Yeah.
But like, so that was in theory what was meant to happen. And then this grill plate, so the semicircle, half of it was just a plate, and then the other half was like a grill where there's like gaps, right? You know what I'm talking about? So the side with the gaps, my God, did the flame burst through that?
Through it, yeah.
So I'm like, there's no chance of cooking there. I put a piece of bread there, it burnt in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy. But the actual flat plate, you know, put a bit of oil on it, cooked on there. That was all right. But yeah, I think, no. It was a shocker. The sausages are not cooked properly. I had to go back into the stove where it turns out I'll just cook there actually.
Forget the outdoor flame.
Yeah, and then like I had to cook it again to make sure it was even indoors. But all in all, decent experience. Got some marshmallows as well. Made some s'mores for the first time ever.
First time ever?
When have I been around an open flame?
I don't know. Just thought in your 27 years of life, you may have been around an open flame once or twice.
I've been around an open flame, but no marshmallows on hand.
Okay.
But yeah, good experience, I would say.
Kush, you know how to start a fire? Would you be comfortable in this situation?
No, so wait, what? Do you have to get like 2 rocks and like, you know, do the thing where you scratch it and then hurts the...
So they at least give you fire starter. So fire starter is like, they're like little cubes that like are chemicals and like it bursts into flames essentially, right? But that starts it. You need to have the surrounding materials to keep it going in a good way. That's the challenge. You're not getting 2 sticks and like rubbing it against each other and waiting for it to burst in flames.
Yeah, the old Flintstones technique, you know? Take it back to the old days.
Flint and steel, mate. No way.
Dress yourself in a robe, 1 single robe, get 2 rocks, and off you go. Go to town.
The first time I went camping, I honestly had the same experience as you, Migs. Like, it's not intuitive. I mean, maybe it is, but to me, it definitely was not intuitive because I would have the fire, except there would be no flames. It would just be hot. Like, because the logs wouldn't be catching on fire. It would just be sitting there and like kind of smoldering.
Yeah.
So there would be heat emanating from this fire pit. But when the first time I went, there was barely any flames. The flames weren't warm. But then when you put the log on top, you have like the embers and it starts getting really hot underneath and you can feel the heat. But I didn't see flames, which is
I think
annoying.
that was my problem as well. Maybe I did a better job than I think in terms of things staying warm.
Yeah.
But no flame to me equaled no heat, no fire, no bingo.
Mm.
All right, when I got back to civilization, my cousin was telling me a story and she actually wanted the boys' opinion on this, because we sometimes market ourselves as a corporate podcast. So what happened was she's been looking for jobs recently. And then one of these jobs, the interviewer calls her or the recruiter calls her and they're like, oh, let's set up this virtual interview at tomorrow. First of all, I was like, tomorrow, hang on. But they're like, let's set up this interview tomorrow. We'll use Google Meet, 4 p.m., meet the people, jump on the call, right? And she's like, no problems. And then come 4 p.m., she joins the call. And then, Google Meet, it's like, you're in the waiting room.
Mm-hmm.
We'll wait till someone's let in. And then, for maybe meetings have run over, this sort of thing. 4:05, not let in. 4:10, not let in. 4:15, not let in. So I've got, in the end, she wasn't let in. Right. And she's like, what should I have done in that situation? Plus, how should I feel about what's going on?
What's first question I have? What's the type of role it is? Is it like a,
I don't know. What do you mean?
As in like, what's the industry? Is it retail?
It's like corporate.
Okay. So just corporate vibes.
Yeah, I think.
First of all, I'd be panicking at 4:03, being like, I'm on the wrong Google Meet. Like I'm sitting there like, what's doing? Sure. If I didn't get let in by 4:05, 4:10, I'm shooting an email being like, hey, I'm here. Or I'm giving the recruiter a call being like, what's doing, bruv?
Yeah. Kush?
I agree. Every time I've joined a meeting and there's just no one there but me for 3 minutes, what I do at work is I leave the Zoom. And sometimes there's always 2 Zoom links. So there's like a button which says join Zoom meeting and then there's a link underneath as well. I do the double just to make sure, we are in fact on the right Zoom. So I will always do that first. And then once I back out, I'm like, all right, cool. If it's still me, then I reckon after 5 minutes, you should be hitting up the person being like, yo, where are you?
Yeah, I think
she just sat there for 30 minutes.
So she told me 30 minutes. Yeah, sat there, did the whole check, it's the right details, whatever, early on. But then just sat there for 30 minutes.
Now you got to email.
She might have done other shite, I don't know. But I think the 30-minute point she did, or even before then, I don't know, sent the email, I think sent a text, but waited for 30 minutes. And at the 30 minute point was the hang up.
Why did she choose to wait?
Call it well, you never know. They might be running late.
No, you have to wait. Like you send the email, but you're still on the Zoom link. You still have to wait on the Hangout.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she didn't do anything. So she was just seated for 30 minutes. Just like, all right, just watching a screen.
If she hasn't emailed or called, then that's twiddling her thumbs for no reason. The other part was, how should she feel? Look, I would love to tell you that, you don't want to be at a company that wastes your time like this, this and that. I would be fine. I'd be like, whatever. It's just like probably a mistake. I don't have to feel anything.
Yeah. So she got a call back 2 days after.
2 days?
2 days is actually a long
That's
wait.
a long time. That should have been like an hour after this whole debacle happened.
Where did this recruiter go? This recruiter go camping as well?
Nah, so the recruiter was like, gave a story of like, I think he was sick or something, was on leave, so couldn't reply.
Yeah.
And then turns out Google Meet has a new feature where, because the recruiter organizes the meeting, so the Google Meet has a new feature apparently where the organizer has to be in the meeting to let people in.
Right.
Because I know in Teams at my work, anyone can let anyone in, right?
Sure.
If some external person joins, anyone can accept them. But apparently, the interviewers were in the call. So it's the fact that the organizer was off sick, so couldn't jump in and accept people, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, so actually,
so the interviewers were sitting.
Everyone was waiting.
Except the technical side of Google Meet didn't allow them to enter the building. So she has another interview set up, power to her, but fair play, she could have done the whole, I'm going to withdraw my application. This was as you said, a company that treats me this way, blah, blah, blah.
But if she heard that it's because the other two interviewers were in the call as well.
Yeah.
Like it's not really their fault.
But 2 days.
2 day.
The 2 day
turnaround
wait,
is
man.
crazy. All right. To end the log, I've got one final yarn. If you're stuck with it, fair play to you because it's 45 minutes and the episode's going to run long. Let's see how we go.
Unfortunate drivel, as we were called once upon a time.
No, tell this story. That's actually funny. Quick aside.
Quick aside. So, we've been asking recently for Spotify comments, YouTube comments, Apple reviews, etc. This stems from the very first. When did we start this pod?
5 years ago.
5 years ago. So a couple months in, we dibble dabble with our content and stuff. And I think one of the first.
No, not even. So this is actually what happened. So we first started the podcast and there was a section on Apple called New and Noteworthy. And we're like, all right, we have to try and get on this New and Noteworthy. That's our ticket to fame. We ended up getting on this New and Noteworthy. It was like episode 1 or 2. We got on this section where Apple featured us.
Are we going to reveal how or?
No need to reveal how.
Okay. Yep.
Unethical means, I'll say that much for free.
Play on anyways. We're on New and Noteworthy.
We're on New and Noteworthy. And so obviously someone has had the unfortunate pleasure of discovering us.
They saw the Critical Banter podcast in the section. You know what? Let's give it a go.
Let's give it a go. And we at that stage had one mic between 4 people, no real structure, no real audio quality or quality control whatsoever.
No confidence.
Nothing. They've obviously listened to us. And the first ever review that we received on Apple was some bloke giving us 1 star and calling it unfortunate drivel. Unbelievable.
That's clearly stuck with us.
That's clearly stuck with us. But quick on from me. Basically, you know how sometimes people will write down other people's phone numbers, Kush, on like the back of a toilet or like on the back of a bus seat?
Yeah.
So in year 8, maybe, long time ago, we were on the bus and someone had written their friend's number on the back of the bus seat. In the, quotation marks, it would say, free routes, call this number. So we, as 13, 14-year-old boys, were like, all right, fantastic. We will call this number. And so at the time, our friend John, he was single. We actually were all single.
Yeah, let's not paint a picture like he was the single one. We were all single.
We decided to find John a girlfriend. And so I saved this number under free routes for John. And I think we would maybe, it was so long, I don't remember, but we probably would have called her. We probably would have, dabbled in some light harassment potentially of this poor girl whose number was on the back of that bus seat. Now, you might be thinking, why are you bringing this up? This is a story
from about 12 years ago.
So long ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm on WhatsApp and I'm scrolling through just my contacts because I'm trying to call someone. And I stumble across the number, free routes for John, still saved. And I have a look at the profile picture catches my eye. So I have a look and it's some lady with a Masterchef apron on. And I'm like, well, hang on. What's all this about then? So I click into it. I try to screenshot the profile pictures to send to the lads. And WhatsApp has this thing where if you screenshot someone's profile picture, it doesn't screenshot. It says this is protected for privacy. That's why I had to send you like the kind of
profile card.
Yeah.
Right.
So I have a look and her hand or her hair or something is covering the apron. So I can catch the last like 4 or 5 letters. And the last 4 or 5 letters is like Rissa. So I'm thinking, maybe it's, Marissa. I'm just trying to guess names.
Or Wissa, the striker from Brentford, potentially, that we all have in our FPL teams.
So I'm looking, I'm just typing this lady up like Masterchef because I'm thinking, maybe she was on
Masterchef
Masterchef.
Issa.
Yeah, Masterchef Issa. Turns out her name is Larissa. And turns out, Kush, she was the winner of Masterchef in 2019.
What?
Yeah.
So she's gone from free routes on the back of a bus
Yeah.
to winning Masterchef in 2019. What a story.
Oh my God. That is crazy. So wait, did you like reach out to her and be like, hey, by the way?
I'm glad you asked. So I was just thought, okay, look, it's just the image. I mean, it's just weird, first of all, to impersonate Larissa from Masterchef, but maybe there's people that do it. So I'm like, I'm just going to give her a call and see what's happening. So I give her a call on my number.
Private or no private?
Not private, whatever, I don't care. And
All
so
right.
she picks up and she's like, hello. I was like, oh, hey, is this Larissa? And she's like, yeah, it's Larissa. And then in my head, I'm like, well, I don't really know what to do here.
Didn't expect to get this far.
So I then like, oh, I'm from Rams Home Loans.
Oh, wow. What a callback. What a callback.
I'm panicked too. I actually panicked.
You Rams.
I manually ramsed her. And to be honest, she was actually really nice about it. I was like, oh, you're calling about the home loan. She's like, oh, I don't know if not me, but maybe my husband, put my name down. I was like, oh, yeah, just check with him. All right, see you later.
By the way, there's free routes.
Yeah. But what are the chances of that, Kush? Masterchef winner on the back of a bus seat.
That is actually crazy. It's like one of those things, like fated to be, Her name was etched onto a bus. So the name is now etched into the history of Masterchef. Just like that.
Just like that.
So if you're on a bus that you think was active circa 2012, just take a look at the back of the bus seats. You might find Larissa's number somewhere there.
Larissa Demonello, who hasn't changed her number.
That bus is still active now. Some other generation of kids are going to find it.
Now we have the number. What do we do? I mean, obviously, what can we do something with this number? Do we get Larissa on? Us to explain which friend rode on the back of the bus?
If you can somehow
It'd be the
pivot,
shortest log ever.
if you can somehow pivot this whole thing into actually making contact with her as Rohit, not Rams Home Loans, fair play to you.
But I think it's going to be a hard swing.
What's the opener? Hey, I saved your number because I thought I could get my mate free routes from you.
But yeah, damn. John missed out though. Like, if we actually made something happen, John would be married to a MasterChef winner, but she's got a husband.
All right. As usual, we are sponsored by our good friends at Manscaped.
Woo!
And boys, I have to say, I have moved countries, and part of my transition was taking the things that are most important to me, that are most dear to me. And now obviously I've taken my clothes, right? Part of my clothes, guys, the Manscaped boxes.
Of course.
I took all of them. I got to say, I took 8 boxes over. One of them, a non-Manscaped one, already gone, ripped, torn in half. Manscaped, still strong.
High quality.
Resilient. Absolutely. It is actually incredible. And then speaking of other things that I took over, I actually took 2 Manscaped products over in my little travel bag. They both fit in there. Took the beard trimmer and I took the 4.0.
Of course, the lawnmower essentials.
Absolute essentials. And that's what I'm trying to say here. No matter where you are, whether it's your home country, whether you're traveling, whether you're moving countries, there are key things that you will always take with you, and that's some Manscaped products. Those include your 4.0, those include your beard trimmers, and those include your boxers. They also have a lot of other sensational products out there for those with, potentially want to up the nutritional value with their hair. Get the little hair scrubber that we've been talking about for the past 6 years. And maybe there's a couple of other trinkets that you want to get.
Absolutely.
How do you get it, Kush? How do you get it?
.com, .au, or .com for our US folks out
Absolutely.
there. And then you go to the checkout, you type in TCB, and you will get 20% off and free shipping. TCB.
20%.
That's absolute class.
Alrighty, folks, we're playing the top 5 game once again. Kush, it's been a long time since you played a game. Are you nervous?
I actually am. I was tempted to just hit some random person up in the office and be like, "Come on, man, let's play bull slut. I need to get the juices flowing."
Well, you should, but top 5 is hopefully an easy one. You and Migs can work on a team, so it'll just be you 2 versus me. And the first top 5 list, well, it's a very simple game actually. I'm going to give you a category. A list, and you just got to name the top 5 of that list. First one is suburbs with the most Chinese residents.
Sorry? Australia or America?
Sydney suburbs with the most Chinese residents.
As per ABS?
As per the census.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we thinking?
Do we have a date on this data potentially? Recent though.
Recent. Last 2-3 years.
All right. Kush, where do you think the Chinese are?
The Chinese. There's a couple where we can rattle them off quite easily. Surely the big C, Chatswood.
Chatswood is only number 5 on the list.
Number 5?
I think Chatswood is a diverse area potentially. But then you're talking about scale.
I thought it was called Chinese Chatswood. The double C's.
All right, what are some other ones? What is it? Ashfield? That's one that's coming to mind, Kush.
I'm thinking some of the fields. Like that area that I'm thinking train line, right? Like Burwood, Strathfield, like maybe one of those.
That's Burwood, Strathfield, maybe, but Strathfield's like Korea leaning. Eastwood potentially, and Epping. Are we thinking of those?
Oh, Eastwood for sure. For sure.
For sure, we want to go Eastwood.
Eastwood is number 4 on the list.
Mate, we're climbing up the ranks. Did you want to go with one of those, Kush? Strathfield, Burwood.
Yeah, lock in Burwood. I back the northern train line.
Burwood is number 2 on the list.
Oh, Kush, we're absolutely flying.
Somebody stop us. Oh my days. Okay.
What else is there? What else?
Number 3 will shock you.
I feel like it's all around that area. Like that northern line has like, I mean, when I'm on the train as well, it's Chinese. You know what I'm saying? I think that we should be thinking there. So we got Eastwood, we got Burwood. What about like a ride or a Rhodes?
Oh, warm.
Warm?
How warm?
Hot.
Roads. That area. Concord, potentially. That sort of vibe. Wentworth Point, potentially.
I reckon let's lock in Rhodes. Rhodes or ride. Let's lock in one of them. You choose.
I'm happy to go Roads.
Rhodes is number 3 on the list.
Seriously.
Oh,
Like,
Wow.
we're killing this, by the way. Just quietly. Sorry, just loudly, bro.
I know my Chinese.
All right.
Is number one like the city? Like, is it?
No, it's
Okay.
Southwest.
So it's not the city.
If you get it, I mean, you don't have to get it.
Like Cabra? Like, if it's the Southwest? Bankstown?
In that region.
Canterbury?
Can't be Bankstown.
No, that's Vietnamese. Bankstown. You can give up.
Let's just go
Yeah, we'll give up. Give us the answer.
Bankstown. That's our final answer.
Bankstown, incorrect. Hurstville
Oh, Hurstville.
is number 1 on the list.
Of course it is.
Oh,
Of course it is Hurstville.
So Hurstville- 49.4% of the population is Chinese.
Half of them.
Burwood, 45% is Chinese.
Oh, it's percentage.
Rhodes, 44%. Eastwood, 38.4%. And Chatswood, diverse-ish, 34.1%.
Yeah, because I think if you're going off that, Chatswood has a lot of Chinese, but they have a lot of people. So it's not a high proportion. Fair enough.
All right.
Good start.
Very
Great
good start.
Great start. Next list is top 5 languages spoken in Australia other than English.
Chinese. We're saying.
But is
surely.
it split into Mandarin Cantonese or is it Chinese?
Isn't Mandarin famously bigger?
It is. It actually is, though. You want to lock that in?
Let's lock it. It's got to be one of them. So let's lock in Mandarin.
Mandarin, number 1
Of course.
on the list. Now it gets interesting.
Dare I suggest Cantonese as well? Like Chinese, Australia.
We'll throw Cantonese.
Cantonese, number 4 on the list.
All right.
Mate, Kushy's amazing at this game.
He's done his research, man.
Top 5, man. I edit these, bro. Every week. I know what's up.
Arabic, is that a language? Different ethnicities use the same language, so the chances are high. Is this percentage or is it just sheer volume?
This is volume now.
Volume. All right, Kush, I'm thinking Arabic. I'm thinking Vietnamese. I'm thinking Korean. I'm thinking what's the most popular South Asian language as well? A couple of those.
I'm thinking Hindi as well, potentially. I reckon Arabic. Arabic, surely. I've heard that in Australia. Like, surely.
All right, we'll go Arabic first.
Arabic is 2 on the list. Well done.
All right. You backing Hindi.
I'm backing Hindi as well. I'm backing it.
Chuck that in as well.
Hindi is not on the list.
God!
Okay. Let's settle down here. Let's settle down.
I'll say not the South Asian language on this list.
What other South Asian languages are there, Kushy?
Yeah, you got the Tamil. You got Punjabi. You got
You got to think about universal. You know, what's you think is spoken by multiple ethnicities or cultures or
Nepal. What is it? Nepali? Is that a language? Nepali?
Nepalese?
Potentially.
Yeah, that's a language.
No, Nepalese is the people. Aren't they Nepalese people? Well, the language is Nepali, I'm pretty sure.
Maybe.
Or it's
I
the other
don't
way
know.
around. One of them. What were the... Okay, don't worry about the South. Let me mull on that for a bit. You mentioned some other languages, Migs. You said Vietnamese. You said...
Vietnamese, Korean,
Lock something in, boys.
Vietnamese could be a good shout. Vietnamese, I reckon, Migs. I mean, there's some big suburbs that are Vietnamese dominated.
Yeah, I would lean towards Vietnamese as well. You want to lock that in, Kushy?
Yeah, let's lock it.
Vietnamese row.
Vietnamese is 3 on the list. Well done.
Wow. Wow.
1 to go.
So what, number 5?
Number 5.
South Asian language at number 5, Kush. What are we thinking? Maybe you've already said it. I don't know. That's all I'm thinking because you've rattled off the popular ones, the main ones. So it has to be one of those.
Tamil, sure.
Not on the list.
Shit.
One guess.
The only other one I can think of is Punjabi, because Punjabi is, I mean, there's thinking about like the Sikhs in Australia. There's a big Sikh community.
I'm happy to go with whatever you think, Kush.
I'm back at Punjabi. I think there's a pretty big Sikh community.
Punjabi.
He's 5 on the list. Woo!
Woo! That's what we're talking about.
Let's go. All 5. That's crazy work.
I'll give you a choice here. You can do both. Or you can do either. It's gonna be tricky either way. I feel like top 5 most livable suburbs in Sydney or top 5 most dangerous suburbs in Sydney.
I'm confident in neither. What's livable? What's the
criteria according to Domain's rankings? Close to train stations, close to restaurants, close to the city.
I reckon livable, Kush. I reckon dangerous could put us in dangerous territory with our guesses.
Okay, all right, yeah, fair enough. Actually, you go livable.
All right. So he's saying distance to amenities like schools. Is that
schools is on
schools?
There? But I'll say this, right? All 5 of these suburbs are literally maybe in like a 7-kilometer radius.
So they might be in the same council, is what you're telling me.
I think they might all be in the same council.
Most livable.
He's saying close to amenities and close to, it has to be around I'm thinking either Parramatta or the city, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I would not go near Parramatta. I'll tell you that much for free.
But he didn't say not near the city. And then it's Domain. Domain have their own agenda of wanting to pump, glorify the expensive houses.
Exactly. Dare I suggest that these are all in the Sydney city or around the Sydney city.
But where are the schools in the city? Where's the North Sydney area? That sort of area.
Can't we just say Sydney? Sydney, like the suburb of Sydney, right? 2000?
Is it postcodes? Can we go 2000, bro?
You gonna lock it in?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're locking it in.
Number 3 on the list. Well done.
Oh my God. So what are the surrounds? We're talking Woolloomooloo. Is that what we're talking about? Like Darlinghurst, like Surrey Hills.
Yeah, like a Wynyards, the Wollstonecrafts,
Waterloo.
the triple W's. Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of W's around Sydney, actually.
Migs, I would say get the map out and have a look at the surrounding suburbs.
Push, I'm seeing Millers Point. I'm seeing Piermont. I'm seeing Paddington.
I need some guesses here, boys.
All right.
Sydney was the odd one out. The rest of the suburbs are in a 7K, so close to each other.
All right, let's go Potts Point.
Potts Point, not on the list.
All right. 7Ks is bigger than you think.
You were on the right track with the North Sydney vibes. Think
All
over
right.
the bridge.
Then Milson's Point for sure.
All right. Milson's Point, bro.
Milson's Point number 1 on the list.
Most livable suburb is Milson's Point.
Domain
What?
affiliated.
That's a joke. I can think of 20 other livable suburbs.
Artarmon. North Sydney Road. Let's lock in North Sydney.
Oh, Kirribilli.
North Sydney is not on the list.
Kirribilli.
Kirribilli is
Kirribilli.
4 on the list.
Wow, Kush, you're crazy. So what do we have? 1?
You got Milson's Point at 1. You've got Sydney at 3. You got Kirribilli at 4.
Okay, I'm looking over the bridge. Neutral Bay?
Waverton. Oh, Waverton, Kushy.
All right, let's go Neutral Bay. Sorry, Waverton. Let's go Waverton.
Waverton not on the list.
God damn it.
Neutral Bay, let's just lock in Neutral.
Yeah,
Neutral
Neutral Bay.
It's so hard, I'm just guessing.
Neutral Bay not on the list.
Damn it.
The other ones were Lavender Bay at number 2 and McMahon's Point at number 5.
This is a farce of a list, first of all.
All right, I get the point there. I promise you this. Top 5 most dangerous suburbs in Sydney.
Dangerous. Easy.
Stay dangerous.
Exactly. They stay dangerous in these subs. Are you thinking what I'm thinking, Kushy?
I'm thinking of a mountain that has been shortened to an MT.
Of the Druitt name. Has to be Mount Druitt.
Mate, Mount Druitt
Number 1.
not on the list.
Seriously.
Not?
What else is there? I'm thinking Blacktown, Plumpton, just the west.
I reckon Blacktown or Penrith. Lock one of them in, Migs.
Let's go Blacktown.
Blacktown not on the list.
I do back Penrith. I have heard nefarious whispers around that suburb.
Penrith.
Not on the list.
Bro, what could it be, man? All right, Kush, I think we need to steer. Think of other suburbs because I think our tactic of Mount Druitt, Blacktown, Penrith is clearly not working. What other suburbs have a nefarious reputation?
Think housing commissions.
I'm thinking Liverpool, man. There's a lot of feral people over there, especially when I stopped over once, man. That was...
It's not a bad shout, actually. You know what? Liverpool.
Livo number 3 on the list.
Woo!
All right, here we go on the board.
I think similar trends. What's a similar suburb? Like, surely Bankstown, bro. That's got a rep. And it's huge. Bankstown's a huge place.
Yeah. I reckon Bankstown.
Bankstown. Send Bankstown.
Bankstown number 4 on the list. Well.
Yes, sir.
We're getting there. Oh, Kush, I remember did you ever watch that Spanian video where he went to like Sydney's most dangerous suburbs?
Oh, yeah.
He went to I think it was like either Penrith or Mandurah, but he went to like the surrounding suburbs.
Yeah, all I can think about is the bloody name of the Pangea, but the Pangea, isn't that like the term for the earth? So I don't think it's a
Pangea.
Pangea. Isn't that it? Trigea?
Oh, Tregear, I think. Yeah. Lock that in as well.
Tregear number 1 on the list.
Wow.
Well.
Pangea and Trigea. There you go.
All right, we're close. I think we have 2 more.
2 more. You got number 2 and number 5.
Kush, I really want to throw Auburn in. I really want to throw it in.
All right, throw it in.
Auburn, bro.
Auburn is not on the list. Boys, all they do is smoke shisha and, have some nice tea.
They're gentle folk.
Exactly. Yeah. Eat some kebabs. Not on the list. Number 2 was Kingswood.
I have no clue.
And number 5 was Marylands.
Marylands.
Yes. Do you not remember versing Marylands when you played Kellyville FC?
I do. They are a folk of sort.
A rowdy bunch. All right.
Alrighty, that brings us to the end of a fantastic episode. Kush, how are you going in America? And when can the listeners expect to hear from you again?
Look, I will be back soon in the studio, so I would say, maybe in a month's time, maybe in 2 months' time.
Sooner rather than later is what I'm hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Live and direct on the visuals underneath the neon sign, you will see me.
Live and direct. In the meantime, you can check out the rest of our episodes, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. As Rose said, leave some Spotify comments. If you see any of us in person, tell us to stay dangerous in the most menacing way you can. TikTok, Instagram, @Banter. Check us out there, and we'll see you guys next week.